AK, you funny, man.
Coming to you live
from Skywalker Studios.
Giving you the real surrounding the Dallas Cowboys from news, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. Strap up and get ready as we take you into the Dallas Cowboys universe.
Oh, yeah.
I love you, Skywalker. I think you're one of the greatest young cats in the game. When somebody come into the town, when a gunslinger come into the town, we calling you because you're going to challenge that gunslinger.
You're listening to the Skywalker Show podcast. Here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
Yeah. What's going on, Dallas Cowboys Nation? I am your host, Skywalker Steele. Welcome to the Skywalker Show podcast. Joined today by none other than Foots the King. What's up, young king?
Hey, Sky, man.
No. You gotta say it like you say it. Hey.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
My God, man. Sky, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Listen, thanks for coming.
I'm excited for this show. It's been in the works.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited, man.
Yeah. Listen, last time I had you on the show, it was during the off season, and we had so much optimism, fam. So much optimism. It was it felt like a totally different year. That was only like 2 months ago. That's crazy. But here we are, man.
We got so much to talk about. But the thing is,
and we fit it in this hour.
I was about to say, hey, let's talk, because I will say this. One thing I think that you do a great job of is, and I know we may not see eye to eye on everything, but we're going to talk about it, and we ain't going to run from it. And I pride myself on giving Cowboys fans the truth. And it's a lot of truth that y'all about to get from me.
Hey, listen, on this channel and in this community, we pride ourselves on keeping it real. I used to have a blog back when Facebook first started out. I used to have a blog called Keeping It Real with Steele. So that's what we're going to do, fam. Keep it real. And hey, like you said, we may not agree. And I know the number one thing we're going to get to, and it's going to be later, is Dak Prescott. We'll get there, guys. We're going to talk about it because it's something to talk about. But
for sure.
Nonetheless, man, here are Dallas Cowboys at 2-5, only a half game out of first place going into this Eagles game on Sunday, which we'll briefly touch on that if we can towards the end of the show here. But I kind of wanted to lead off, Foots, with your thoughts on this Mike McCarthy regime here, and I'm not sure if you froze up a bit. Are you good there, Foots? Just a little bit of a little slight freeze. We will get Foots back here in a quick second. Hey, OG in the crib. What up, OG? I do want to start off with Mike McCarthy. Foots, whenever you come back in here, just interrupt me and let me know, man. Listen, a lot of us, including myself, he'll be back here, including myself, was very excited about this Mike McCarthy hire. And it really, I think half of it had to do with the fact that Jason Garrett's gone. Now you get two Skies. Half of it had to do with Jason Garrett was gone. The other half had to do with a Super Bowl winning coach coming into Dallas for the first time since Bill Parcells. You're back, Foots. Yo, you good? Don't have an audio for you, brother. Let me see real quick. All right. You good, Foots?
Okay, I'm back, Sky.
There we go. There we go. As long as I can hear you.
I got you. You got me.
As long as we can hear you, we good. We figure the rest out.
You got me, Sky?
Yeah, I got you, brother. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Sky, you got me? I hear you.
All right. Go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, it's technology out here.
Yeah, technology crazy, fam. A lot of people see that.
So Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. And guys, if it goes out, y'all know we trying to.
And it went out on me. You went out on me again. Foots.
Yes.
Here we go.
I think we're a little behind. There it is, Sky. You got me now? How technology want to do it like that, Sky?
We're good now. Go ahead, bro.
Karki. I feel like Cowboys fans and media is jumping to a way too early conclusion on Mike McCarthy.
Say it again.
And the reason why is because, dude, this is clearly a mess. Clearly. And now it's starting to become even more of a, I don't know if you curse on your show, Sky, but it's an S show, because it's clear that certain players are overpaid. It's clear that you paid some of the wrong players. And it's clear that there's way too much Jason Garrett on his team. So without even getting into some of the issues that some of these players have, because it's a whole lot, Sky. It's unfair to judge Mike McCarthy. I think it's unfair to judge Mike Nolan, to be honest with you. And here's why.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Here's why. No, listen, Sky, listen. Watch this, Sky. We're talking about a coaching staff that with COVID, right? It's now looking like Marinelli, what he was able to do with some of these guys was genius, if you really think about it.
But I think that, at least me,
some of these guys can't play.
You had to give Rod some credit for getting something from nobodies. But what I don't give Rod too much credit for is taking, how can I put this, turning somebody into an elite player. Now, D-Law, I get it. D-Law flourished under Rod Marinelli, right? And then Rod Marinelli leaves and D-Law is not doing the same things. But Rod was very good at taking trash and turning it into silver. Not gold, but silver. But nonetheless, go ahead.
Well, okay, if Cowboys fans are mad at Mike Nolan, cool. Mike McCarthy, no, he's not on a hot seat. No, that would be a mistake. Who's out there? Lincoln Riley, don't give me these college names. The front office has to fix this team. It's a clear personnel issue right now. It's not coaching. Coaching is very lazy. Coaching is not tackling. These guys you got to now have to get the right guys in here who want to do it. Period. That's gonna start up top. It's not coaching right now. To me, it's not coaching, Sky.
It's a balance. It's real tough to really, and that's why I was saying for the first 4 weeks, okay, listen, defense is trash. I get it. I couldn't throw Mike Nolan under the bus too hard just yet because, like you said, COVID's real. It's a new scheme. Injuries were happening and things like that. But we're 6 weeks in, and it's not getting better. I mean, it's getting worse, Foots. And somebody has to fall on the sword. And
so,
go ahead.
Who made the decision to sign Worley? Because I never did a video on him because I knew he couldn't play. Who made the decision to sign Dontarie Poe? Because I never did a video on Dontarie Poe. I mean, maybe I may have touched on it, but I knew he couldn't play.
Really?
This is his third team, Sky.
Yeah.
He's not a good player. One text, somebody who can move like him, he doesn't have the motor. I never thought I don't like to be that fan that cuts up his best plays and calls it chicken salad. No, he can't play. It's very obvious.
He can't play now, for sure. He cannot play at all.
Sky, he can't play.
He was not bad last year.
He was not bad, but Sky, he can't play, and that's
I can't argue. He can't play right now. No, the dude he's been literally the worst defensive tackle according to some metrics, and I think you can see it out there. It sucks, and
yeah.
I don't want to do a hard turn just yet. I want to stick to the coaches right quick. But here's my thing though, Foot. Somebody's gonna have to fall on the sword, right? We can't just keep letting this happen. Problem is, Mike Nolan is McCarthy's man. So I don't know if Mike Nolan is going to get fired anytime soon. So we're probably going to ride this thing out. And all you can hope for is that somewhere along this season, it'll turn around. We're not asking for this defense to be great. We're not even asking for this defense to be good. We're just asking for the defense to be okay. I just need the defense to be okay. We got Foots a little frozen up here. We'll bring him back, but I'll get back into this chat here. Johnny said Mike McCarthy's biggest mistake was hiring his friend Nolan. I think that might be true. You back, brother? Not yet. So I think that might be true. Hiring Mike Nolan, I think might have been his biggest miss in the coaching staff. A lot of people don't like the Kellen Moore. You're another Kellen Moore person. You back? I need you to come back because I need you to get on this Kellen Moore thing too. But I think Mike Nolan is the bigger culprit so far this year than Kellen Moore. But the thing is, both offense and defense have so much, negative things going for them that the coaches, I don't think, are good enough to overcome. And that's not necessarily a detriment. It's just that how many coaches are going to overcome their third quarterback, their sixth offensive tackle, right? The defense, how are they going to overcome all these bad players and all?
Get the baby. No, I had it.
Back.
So
you went out again, brother.
I can bet. No. Oh, this stinks because I got so many.
There you go.
I got so many. There you got me.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So when it comes to there you go. Even so, let's talk about Kellen Moore.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that he's a bad coordinator. Like, I don't think that he has bad plays designed. I think he designs great plays. At full strength with Dak, it's designed. I think the problem with Kellen Moore, Sky, is feel.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Not too many people have been saying that, but that's what it really is, in my opinion. And I think that's experience.
That's experience. It's just like, it's not time for, a Don Coryell long developing play right here. Throw a slant. You have Amari Cooper. You have cover one, okay? Because there's 8 people in the box. Throw a slant and just let Amari Cooper get open. Like that's literally just like go 2 by 1, so you can see the field. So that's gonna be what it's gonna be with DiNucci. Like moving forward, now you have to dump things down. And I think that'll force Kellen Moore. This is going to force Kellen Moore to be a better play caller. Watch what I tell you.
Ooh, I love
because
that
there's
thought process.
Because, Scott, there's something to be said about simplicity. I think that this team had gotten so cute, it just forgot how to just line up and run power. It's like you're in the red zone and you're just running reverses. It's like just run power. Like, you know what I'm saying, Scott? Like, don't.
No, there's something to that. And I'm going to give you an example and stick with me here. In 2015, we lost all those quarterbacks, right? Like Tony Romo got hurt. We went through a quarterback carousel. Scott Linehan was under fire. Then 2016 comes in. Tony Romo comes back. He gets hurt 2 weeks before the season. A young 4th-round rookie comes in. They had an offense tailored to a 13-year veteran. They could not possibly give that playbook to a 4th-round developmental quarterback in Dak Prescott. So what did Scott Linehan do? He dumbed it down. And boy, did it look great because it was just simplicity at its finest. It was Dak Prescott, RPO, read option, Zeke power, and just easy throws, right? And it worked tremendously. And we heralded Scott Linehan. Oh, my God, he made an amazing adjustment. He really didn't. He was forced to make that adjustment because you couldn't give that rookie that playbook. So it could be a similar situation with Ben DiNucci, and Ben DiNucci has the wheels. He got legs, fam.
Yeah, he does.
So
yeah, he does. We spoke about that earlier.
Yeah, and guess who was the backup quarterback that year when that happened with Dak? Guess who was in all those meeting rooms? Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore.
And he's calling the plays. So maybe we'll see something like that.
I would love to. I mean, the thing is this. And we'll talk about it more, Sky, because we got time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully my son doesn't start crying again.
It's all good, bro. It's all. Hey, I got hold it down, bro. We cool.
Hey, look, you do a great job, man. Hey, Sky drives this bus home, baby. The truth of the matter is, it's now audition time.
Yeah.
Everybody, listen, and I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is, I don't want to be negative, Nancy, but I have to. I've been trying to be.
Come on, right through it. Man, that sound like a DJ is remixing you over here. I can't even hold you. Listen, I think I know what Foots is trying to say. Foots, when you come back in, just interrupt me. He's basically stating that right now for the rest of the season, even if we win and we'll be in first, which is wild, these are for the rookies and the veterans that are playing to get back on this team next year. Point blank, period. And when he comes back, I'll jump into the veterans that did not work this year with the free agency. We joked about it in the Falcons or in the Arizona game. I can't believe every single last free agent besides Alden Smith did not work. All bust. All bust. Not just a little bit, but a lot of bust. Daryl Worley was just bad, man. And he's a good dude, man. Like, he's a good dude. You know, we speak a lot off the air, and I try not to get on him too much, but he'll probably tell you he's having a bad year. Dante Poe's been one of the worst DTs. Everson Griffin started to pick it up. You know what's funny? Everson Griffin started to pick it up when we start going more 4-3-ish type of thing. When we started being more base. So that's why I think we got value out of him. A potential 5th round pick for Everson Griffin. Potential. Come on out and come back in, Foots. I muted you here, but if they could hear you right now, it sound crazy, but we gonna hold it down. So I'm gonna just jump right into this real quick. Wait a minute, here he come. You there? I'm back out. So, and it's two of me again. So that's cool. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Yeah, let's see if that works. Let's see if that gives us less foolish.
Go ahead. So where I left off was, and I'll let you jump back into it. I left off was the 2020 free agency class pretty much just missing, right? We swung and we missed, and you can kind of give your thoughts on the guys: Gerald McCoy, Everson Griffin, Dante Poe, Daryl Worley, all gone off this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think Everson Griffin just waited too long. I heard you say that.
Yep.
And he waited too long. He waited too long to be good, unfortunately. And I don't think any of those guys play with fire. I don't think that Daryl Worley is a starting NFL corner. And that's no shade, but it's just like he's not a starting caliber corner. And it sucks because I don't think you brought him in here to be a starter. I don't. I think that but it sucks because it's clear what Cheeto's doing. And then for Cowboys fans who don't know, Cheeto is protecting his body, and he's going to milk this soft tissue injury until he can't anymore, and he's going to not put bad film on himself because you're not re-signing Cheeto. I don't feel like you are. That could be a reach, but it's clear that he's chilling.
They might be forced to. But we'll talk about that with the draft and free agents.
That's where and you know what hurts even more with the free agents not being good. I mean, Clinton Dix, I had him on my cut list because the whole nine is the truth of the matter is I think this team has tried to go cheap in free agency for so long. It finally caught up this year to bite them. Thoughts, Sky. Now I want to hear your thoughts because you making that face. Thoughts.
Run that back one more time. Run that back one more time. Let me marinate on that.
How many years have we waited? So let's talk about this plan to draft and to win through the draft. And it's been a good plan. And they've hit in the first rounds, right?
I know.
The problem is the mid-round picks have been awful. And when you have guys like McGovern, who he was on the fence, he was on ice for a year. You don't know what you don't know. You try to depend on Xavier Woods, who is looking like, I mean, it's not a bust, but he's not a high quality safety. When me and you talked off the record and said, you should have drafted Taylor Rapp. You should have drafted Budda Baker. I stood on the table for Budda Baker. Now he's an all-pro player. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Some positions you just can't go draft at. And so if you can't have so young of a team that you don't have any veteran leadership and that you don't get any quality. Let's talk about a guy like Bradbury. I mean, He's at the Giants, and he's one of the best corners in the league.
I wanted him,
So
man.
it's just one of those things. I know he can really play. They used to call him fake Josh Norman, and now he's like a really good player.
Yeah.
So I think my point is just like, the truth is, what's up, Law Nation? My guy, man.
Law in the
So
building.
Law thinks that Cheeto, Law, and I spoke to Law early. I do not think that if we resign Cheeto to what? I don't because unfortunately, Trayvon Diggs has went through murderer's row, right? He's went through murderer's row.
I think he'll be
D
fine.
Hop, I think he'll be fine. I think he's gonna be he if not, he's already your best cover corner. You're definitely going DB at some point in this draft next year, and you have Reggie Robinson on your team. You might double down at DB like they did when they got Cheeto and Jordan Lewis. So, if it's me, what do I know about Cheeto? What am I signing him to?
Here's why, because on the Late Night Hype with me, Law, and James, we were talking about this. Here's why I kind of think that they could sign Cheeto. I took a look at the cornerback free agent class. It's not the greatest. And that's what concerns
Correct.
me. And could they just go with the 2017, I think it was 2017 theory? Remember when they drafted Xavier Woods, Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, and then the year before they had Anthony Brown. So boom, they had their young core. They really didn't bring in veteran players. I think Skandrick was already off the team by then. So they didn't have too many veteran guys. I mean, Byron Jones was on the team though. Too many veteran guys in front of him. They could go that route and just say, hey, we're just going to live with these lumps. But I think it'd be a mistake because we just did that. We just learned our lesson, letting Byron Jones go and not bring in a veteran replacement that's just half as good as the guy. It ain't got to be Byron Jones. Just it's half as good as him. So this is why I'm saying I think they maybe look into Cheeto and may say, hey, listen, if we can get Cheeto in a 1-year deal because Steven's not going to sign him to anything crazy, they'll try to. But I don't think they're going to be able to get Cheeto in a 1-year deal because if Cheeto isn't horrible when he comes back, cornerback is a premium position. Somebody's going to pay him more than a 1-year deal. It may not even be a lot of money, but it could just be a 3-year deal, and that's something that the Cowboys.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 3 years, Sky.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Reggie Robinson comes in and he shows you something.
Here's the problem, Foots. They're putting him at safety.
Okay. And I'm not mad at that either. Like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I guess we could jump into this too. This is literally everybody's auditioning.
Yeah.
This is like, when you go to an open cast call for a commercial or for a playwright or something, you have or like American Idol, there's one kid with a trombone, there's another kid with a drum set, there's another kid that tap dances. Literally, throw Bradley and I in there. Throw Gallimore. Like you said, the young pups, let these practice squad guys go. Nobody's safe because, hey, Reggie Robinson can get in there and do some nice things for your safety. And maybe he does have, he has great size. He has great ability.
I really wanted to see him. But I wanted to see him at corner, but
me too.
I know we have safety issues, and I was like, hey, this guy is super athletic, so just put him on the field, right? But at the end of the day, and it's funny because I'm like, man, throw him out there. Why ain't y'all throwing him out there? And then you listen to Mike McCarthy today, and he's like, hey, we just want to get Reggie Robinson on special teams. We're just trying to get him, acclimated. And to me, that says, I don't know if he's ready. So
here's the problem. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. Listen, on one hand, I'm like, that comes off to me, he ain't ready. But on the other hand, you put Terrence Steele out there week one and continue to put my third cousin out there. He fitting to be my fourth, fifth, sixth cousin out there. You keep doing it. So it's clearly not about experience. It's clearly not about being ready because Terrence Steele is not ready, folks. Not ready. So I don't – and then how can you trust the staff right now in those decisions when you see that happen? When you see Darian Thompson keep getting trotted out there. When you see Terrence Steele keep getting trotted out there. When you see that Connor McGovern so far has held up and he ain't get a shot. It's weird, Foots. It's weird. And I don't know if they just don't have a handle on this team yet. Because of COVID.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was talking to a buddy. Since we're shuffling, and since because also we haven't even got to your offensive line just got old and out of nowhere, and
That hurt.
Since you brought up Steele, I mean, I don't have no idea what happened. I don't know what's going on with Lyle Collins, and so now I think I need to. I love Brandon Knight. I hate to break it to Cowboys fans, but Tyron Smith will never be the same. So I know Steele, you may not want to hear that. Chat box may not want to hear that. Tyron Smith will never be the same. If you're telling me in week 2 that you're out for the year, you've been in the league 10 years, I'm not saying it's over. It's over. So now I want to start thinking about a Connor Williams being kicked to tackle.
Oh, we've been thinking
McGovern
that.
I know he's a tackle. Like, I don't care. So somebody came to me in my inbox, and this is why I say you guys have to watch football and watch the type of football that we want to play. Somebody came to me in my inbox and said, well, Connor Williams, he didn't give up any pressure, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, he also doesn't move people. And that's the biggest issue. Yeah, he's just not a guard. He's not strong. It's not about giving up pressure. And if you don't want to give up pressures, then you go be Brian Balaga, that played for years, who wasn't really that strong for the Packers, but he just had great feet. He knew how to just ride D ends out. You know, it's just one of those things.
Joe Philbin was his offensive line coach.
Yeah, and so my point is, you know, it's time for this team to try to right some of these wrongs. And the truth of the matter is, you know, I want to see some of this, because listen, you have so many issues on this team. You have so many. You need to figure out who can play this year. Like, okay, I know Reggie Robinson is an NFL player. You need to figure out who's an NFL player this year. Like, Terrence Steele is a backup. You don't need a Chaz at best. You don't need it. Don't.
So let me ask you this.
Chaz Green. Don't let him be Chaz Green. Sky.
Crazy thing is,
he's
not quite that, but he ain't that much. I mean, he's not Chaz 6 sacks Green, but he ain't nobody. I'm good if he's not on the team next year. I'm perfectly fine. But let me ask you this. So there's going to be an opportunity, because Darryl Worley's gone, so a young cornerback is going to get some more time. Everson Griffin's gone, so Dorrance Armstrong, Bradley, and I, right, they're going to get more time. There's no Gerald McCoy, there's no Dontari Poe, and there's no Tristan Hill. That's 3 defensive tackles going. Neville Gallamore's come on up. He's about to get a lot of time. So I want to ask you this. Who do you think, and Reggie may get time, but I know they're trying to get him in on special teams. And chat, I'll ask you this too. Of these young guys, if they're on this list or not, who do you think has the best opportunity to kind of stake their claim, as the next young guy to be either a starter or a primary role player on this team? Since all those veterans are gone, these young guys are going to get an opportunity. Who do you think of those young guys can stake their claim?
Oh, 100% Bradley and I. Without question, Bradley freaking and I.
Got to get on the field.
I know. When he starts to get reps, though, Scott, it's the way he plays. Again,
I like him.
Dog. That's what I'm saying. We don't have enough dogs, bro. I'm telling you. It's like, I was listening to this podcast. Urban Meyer was talking about Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa. And he said the difference between Nick and Joey is that I think Joey's more polished. The problem is you would have to literally shoot Joey in the face to stop him from rushing you. I think that's how Bradley and I plays. And if nothing else, just his intensity and just the way that he plays, his mindset will keep him on the field. Because if you look at how we don't have anybody like that.
He got some tools in his set too.
Yeah, he does. Oh, his stuff is good. He has some. He was killing Terrence Steele at the Senior Bowl.
Tore him up at the Senior Bowl practices. Yeah.
That's kind of like hello. So, yeah, without question, Bradley and I. That's the one guy who I'm like, as soon as he gets his opportunity, without question.
I want it to be Brad. Here's why I want it to be Bradley and I, because I've been saying this. It seems like for the last 2 or 3 years, it hasn't been a bona fide guy opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, yes, Quinn was here, but I mean for the future. D-Law has had to play with so many people opposite of it. And this has nothing to do, guys, because I know people are going to say, oh, D-Law, I get it. Listen, I know the money, I get it. What I'm saying is there's been no consistent presence opposite of D-Law. It's someone different every year. Tell me I'm lying, because I'm not.
No, it is.
It's someone different every year. So I'm looking for somebody to stake their claim opposite of D-Law. And Randy Gregory, I don't think we can count on Randy Gregory to be a full-time starter every year. Even if he's never going to get suspended again, I think Randy Gregory is going to be your pass rush specialist. If we commit to this 3-4, he can be an outside linebacker, and maybe in a few years he can acclimate himself into, full-time guy, right? Alden Smith, what are we doing with Alden Smith? If we're going to keep him, then maybe we should look to lock him up, because if you let Alden Smith sneak around and get 8, 9, 10 sacks, the way we are with money, it's a wrap, fam. The way we are with money, we're not bringing him back. So now, guess what? Next year, he's going to have another guy opposite of D-Law. And if it can be Bradley Nye, that would be awesome, because let's be real. It may not be offensive line, but these guys need to learn how to play with each other too. These guys need to learn how to read each other too.
You're spot on. And I think your point about, Alden Smith, I was thinking about this today, is like, it's quite clear that Alden Smith could play this game for about 3 more years at a high level. I feel like 2 for sure that I would stamp. That it's like Alden Smith is still really, really good. So that's something to think about. I just think that, I do think that Bradley and I can play. I do think that I'm going to tell you, we spoke about it, dude. And it sucks because you already paid Jalen. But I do want to see, what's my guy? I want to see 53.
Luke Gifford.
I want to see Gifford. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you hit this on the head too. I want to see Joe Thomas and Leighton Vander Esch. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's so clear that teams are just taking advantage. Find 54. Where's he at? And as a good OC, it's like, I know, bro. Because I want to love Jalen.
Mike McCarthy said it. Did you hear what Mike McCarthy said the other day? He said, we look at, I'm paraphrasing here, guys. Y'all could tell me in the chat. But we look for a linebacker who has bad eyes. Because if they have bad eyes, we can basically get them. Yeah. I felt like he was talking to Jalen Smith. Because that man's eyes are horrible. He's like a little kid in a candy store. Anything that flashes across the field, he is gone. I just don't, and I'll keep repeating myself on this, but Jalen, I felt like if he put on 15 pounds, he could be a 3-4 outside linebacker, like a legitimately real one. And he was supposed to basically be that this year, but injuries started to pile up, and they moved him back inside. I'm looking at it as, what does he do
best? He blitzes.
Yeah, I'm looking at why did you even do that? Why not give Luke Gifford a shot in there and say, hey, Jalen, we feel like this is what you're best at, so let's keep you there, right? Let's see if you can build some momentum there. Don't hit me with the tackles with Jalen. Don't. Hop on the tape. You see Jalen is a liability. He's not an asset right now.
Oh, for sure.
He's a liability.
I mean, it's so bad. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this team, this front office, Will McClay, everybody, I love Will, but I got to look at him too. You have to start having now come to God moments. You brought up something, and I know we're going to talk about it later with the quarterback, but you paid some of these guys, but I'm like this. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, Jalen.
We'll get there.
Jalen. The truth of the matter is 100% like you said. We are in a bad predicament at line. I was listen. I found myself drafting a linebacker in the first round. I did. You know why? Because I look at it and say, if I don't know what Leighton Vander Esch is going to be moving forward, meaning that at any given time, he made a tackle the other day, bruh, in the Washington game, and I said to myself, I don't know if he's going to get up again.
Yeah, we were all in the live stream like, well, it's a wrap. He broke his collarbone again. So,
bruh. If I got a chance to get the best linebacker, like
linebacker is an absolute need. It's a need
for sure.
I'm not. And then listen, unless this dude Leighton turns into Luke Kuechly for the next 2 years, I'm not re-signing Leighton. So you're not going to re-sign LVE. Jalen Smith, dog. We just talked about it. Unless he turns it all the way around or they move him full time outside, he's a liability in the middle. And Sean Lee's retiring soon. You're not giving Luke Gifford a shot, so you don't know what you have in Luke Gifford. And Joe Thomas is just going to be your reserve serviceable backup linebacker, and that's okay. You can have a career as a reserve linebacker. But do you have faith in that core moving forward? If you're being real with yourself, there's no way in hell you can say your interior linebackers, your inside linebackers, you have faith for the future. There's just no way. So linebacker has to be up there on the list in the offseason, be it free agency or draft.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's just one of the weirdest things that because, just 2 years ago, 2018, you was just like, wow, this linebacking core.
Where is that Jalen?
I know. It's the weirdest thing, and it wasn't Rod just saying, Jalen, we're gonna keep everything in front of you. We're gonna play cover 2. He Tampa 2 you to death. Just you stay back. Don't let anything get in front behind. So was it that? But I tell you, every DC around the league is looking, and they're probably like, shit, I'm not taking that job. I wouldn't. And so it's unfortunate, Sky, because I do think that LVE can play. I think he's really good. Like, I think that
LVE healthy and right is one of the better linebackers in the league.
For sure.
I said this the other day. The problem is LVE is always getting right because he's not always healthy.
Yeah.
So it's like when he gets hurt, all right, he gets hurt, and he needs time to get right when he gets back on the field because he's not just suffering a broken finger. It's a broken collarbone. It's a bad neck. It's a back. Yeah, these are serious injuries that take time to get back acclimated. And LVE got a lot of tackles last week, but it still wasn't vintage. It's funny to say vintage, but it wasn't vintage rookie LVE. It wasn't. That's when he was his most healthiest, and that's when he was the best.
And I mean, I'll be honest with you, dude. I don't even know how he came back from a collarbone that quick playing the position
I was worried.
He plays. Bro, I was like,
we've been burned.
If I'm him, I would. Yeah, if I was him, I would have got completely healthy. But that's gonna be something to watch for sure, Sky.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, you kind of touched on a little bit of the draft.
Oh, let's go, man. Let's go. Oh yeah.
Well, there's 2 ways to go there. We can start right at the name on top.
Let's not give him everything.
Okay, let's
go.
Slow roll it real quick. Let me slow roll it real quick. I'm gonna bring up the draft here, but I'm gonna bring it up in a different way before we get to the big boom. Let's just kind of because it's interesting, right? We talked about it off air the other day. It's a little bit more exciting, likely going to be a little bit more exciting this year in the draft because we'll be picking at the top again, somewhere at the top. I'm pretty damn sure we'll be in the top 10. So when you're in the top 10, now you're talking, right? I mean, yes, CD Lamb, what we thought was a top 10 type guy, fell to you at 17. But 17, you're like, all right, man, we'll see. But you're picking at the top of the rounds, and each round, you can get a quality haul. In 2016, we got a quality haul, right?
Yes, sir.
And there's a lot of positions of need right now. I want you to let me know. I mean, you got to give me an order. But just let me know your most important positions of need right now.
I got positions of need. I got players to watch. Let's talk. So it's all about where you're drafting at. Looks like Atlanta's trying to win a game. With this team, granted, the pending is Ben DiNucci being really good. This team and this offensive line, I don't have winning 2 more games. Maybe 1 more game. And I hate to say that.
It's hard to say. Don't hate it. It's just being real.
Okay, so we're being real. Cool, Sky. You got real fans. Everybody on my channel is real. We don't do a lot of fluff.
Oh, they know there ain't no fluff over here. We KIO,
okay,
we keep it real.
All right, fluff free.
Yep.
This team, what they've rolled out with the Whirlies, and now you're probably going to put a rookie in there, but in the teams you're going to be playing, 2 more games at best. If you're picking top 3, we'll save that. If you're picking top 9, let's talk about our needs top 9 because they all change. You know that. You know needs, and needs change when you up in that gold area of the draft. I still say you got it. Secondary means so much. I love everybody telling me D-line. I love everybody telling me offensive line. But if I have a chance to get a Caleb Farley, all right, who I don't grade him as high as Derek Stingley, but he's pretty damn close. I don't grade him as high as Jeff Okudah. But if I have a chance to get a corner that I can say, like, Cheeto's good, if I have a chance to get a corner that if you had a chance right now to have Jalen Ramsey on your team, You would take him in a heartbeat.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
You see what I'm saying? You see, it's just different. Just an attitude player. Just a player
And that's what we need.
Then turn on Caleb Farley film.
Okay.
Turn on Caleb Farley because he's tall, he's aggressive, and that's what we need. We don't have any attitude. Jordan Lewis, that small corner thing, done.
Jordan Lewis's attitude is a different attitude. He's like a teenage attitude. That makes sense. He ain't got no grown man attitude.
They just don't make any plays. That's the problem. Like they're never making the play. They're always like, right there, you were close, but no cigar. Like they don't make any plays. And at some point, you need remember when Jalen Ramsey came in the league and he was just like, dog, this kid is amazing.
Oh, Jalen is a super dog. Now he may be a little funny off the field, but on that field, I don't know if there's a bigger dog in the league, and that doesn't mean you can call him the best. You can call him not the best, but he's probably
people had their argument.
The biggest dog at cornerback.
Wouldn't you want that on your team?
You need that. And not enough
I
of
would
that.
want that on. I would want that. Talk to me, Skywalker.
Not enough of it, because you got look at the cornerback position. You have a rookie. We love Diggs. We think Diggs can develop into that a little bit. And this is no disrespect to Diggs being a dog, but Diggs wasn't Jalen Ramsey coming out, and Diggs doesn't have that kind of mentality coming out. Cheetah Bay Awuzie, he ain't a dog, and he really doesn't have any. His resume doesn't speak for him to be that kind of guy either. Like I said, Jordan Lewis has an attitude, but he gets an attitude with everybody because he hasn't been able to be a starter in this league, and they talk about his height, and he kind of gets pissy at you. Anthony Brown's not that guy. He has a chip tattoo on his shoulder. He's not that guy.
He's not that guy.
Our safeties are not that guy. So we need that in the secondary.
Oh, and for sure. And I like Surtain. I think he's a good Patrick Surtain, his son. And you guys keep all these guys on your watch list, and I'll be reporting these guys. But I've been following Caleb Farley. I know what he is. And like I said, he's not Stingley Jr. Okay, Stingley's the best cornerback prospect that I've graded since probably Deion Sanders. He's that good. Darrell Revis.
Stingley, LSU cat.
So good. He is so good, bro. Like he's gotten beat before, but he's just so good game in and game out. Like it's incredible. He's been doing it since he was a freshman in the SEC. Like against if you mean to tell me like if you get beat by a Van Jefferson and he's a junior and you're a freshman a couple times, I'm not mad at that. Van Jefferson is a route god, but you get my point. Like he's that good, but Stingley's not coming out this year. That's a long one. That's it.
So real quick,
I could go DN.
Before we move to that next position, somebody in the chat said, "Is that Foots?" Yes, sir. We have Foots, the king of Cowboys Nation TV, on the Skywalker Show, talking draft, talking Cowboys, talking it all. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Make sure you do subscribe to the channels if you have not. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. That's why you hear him, but you don't see him. But it's all good, man. It's all good. We still rocking this show.
Sky hooked this up, bro. Sky is the guy.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sky, for that.
No, I appreciate it.
No, it's not, man. It's cool, man. DN. I could talk myself if I can get if you could talk yourself into Rousseau, Greg Rousseau. If you want that Miami edge rusher, if you want pressure, I honestly don't really like the D tackle class. I have to look into them more, but this is a really good linebacker. This is actually a really good quarterback class, and we'll talk about that. This is actually a really good receiver class again. And there's some good corners, but I know this team will not draft a D tackle high. They told you that.
I don't know. I know the previous regime wouldn't.
Okay, that's fair. But see, previous regime is still who? Will McClay. He's still.
I think Will was doing Rod's dirty work when it came to the defensive line.
You think so?
I don't think Will wanted nothing to do with Taco Charlton. I don't think Will wanted nothing to do with Tristan Hill. I think they came to him, hey, Will McClay, this is the type of players we want. Let us know who's out there.
Foots didn't want anything to do with Tristan Hill, I'll be honest. And he came on this year, but the guys that were still on the board, that's why Foots didn't want anything to do with Tristan Hill. You had Taylor Rapp still on
Too
the
many
board.
safeties up there.
That's what I'm saying. And you can clearly see, I mean, you know, the safety class isn't the best. That's why I'm saying the corner class right now is looking great. You have some of these guys who have position flex, but, you know, not without turning this into a draft show. My top 3, without the one that we're going to argue and fuss about, but my top 3 would be DB, whichever way you want to talk about it, DB.
Safety or corner, yep.
DN, yep, DB, DN, and D tackle, and then
That's interesting.
either flip those.
That you
So
didn't
those
bring
3.
up offensive line. It's interesting because a
You
lot
know
of
what?
fans are really clamoring for that due to the injury concerns with Tyron Smith. And then I don't even know if it's an injury concerns with Lyle. I think we all have a sour taste in our mouth because Lyle came in out of shape, and it may have led to him being on IR right now. But yeah, why not O-line being up there?
Because I think Brandon Knight's good. I don't think he's Tyron Smith, but I think he could play. And I think that, Sky, if you can somehow figure out left guard, I think that right tackle ends up working itself out.
And you don't
You
need
get
to
what I'm
get a
saying?
guard in the first round. Now,
No.
Zach Martin worked out great. You know what
I'm not
saying?
drafting.
But you don't
as
need
high
to
as
do
I'm going to
that.
be drafting because what's the kid from the Colts? He's not walking through the door.
Or Quentin Nelson, Zach Martin cut from the same cloth. They're walking Hall of Fame players.
Yeah,
Unless
there's
there's a
not one of those in
Quentin
this
Nelson
draft.
coming out, which I don't know, or Zach Martin coming out.
When fans are telling you guard, no. I'm not going to draft a guard over Jalen Ramsey. He doesn't affect the
No.
game in the same way. You
So
get what I'm saying?
The position, like you said, though, you brought up it's tackle. It's tackle. And you brought it up earlier when you was like, I know you don't want to hear it, and I don't, because I'm ride Tyron Smith to the wheels fall off at left tackle guy. That's me. If
the wheels
Tyron,
are falling off.
the
Scott.
wheels are squeaking and them things is wobbly. They like this right there, man. You know, so it's getting real wobbly. It's a flat tire in the front right one. The back right one is the PSI is at like 39. Is 49 is about to bust. It's a lot of issues with that vehicle right now. But just give me a serviceable swing tackle until that thing break all the way down. Because I know Andre Dillard was drafted behind and to sit behind Jason Peters, but I don't want to take a guy who's going to sit if Tyron is going to play, you know. But I understand the need. I understand the worry.
Yeah, and Eagles fans aren't happy with Dillard like at all.
No, he wasn't playing well. So
yeah, I mean, he's actually been touted as a bust by those guys now. Eagles fans aren't really that smart, so. That they, you know,
bomb.
I will say Cowboys fans, as much as they get on my nerves, they are the smartest fans, and they do a lot of due diligence and they fact check and they're on their grind. Eagles fans just aren't that smart. But anyway, that's my little jab at Eagles fans. Now, yeah, I'm not
draft left tackle guy in the first round.
You put too many resources into this damn line. These guys got to play. Make Connor Williams' ass go to the right tackle like we said, bro. Like, no. Like, dog, cornerback, however you want to draft this guy. DB. Call it a DB. Safety corner. I'm telling you, you have to shore up the back end. It's just ridiculous. And then you go DT or DN. You're gonna be picking high so you can get some good resources. You know?
Listen. DE. DT, DB,
right?
Just give me some damn defense. That's pretty.
Hello.
Let's just be real with it here, and I'm about to follow up with the one you want to follow up with, but let's just be real. This defense forever, first of all, has been a problem.
Yeah.
I know a lot of fans under the rod and say, "Oh, but we were 9th in yards, or we were 6th in yards, or yada yada yada, or we were 10th in points, or we were 9th in points, yada yada yada." What were we in turnovers? What were we in sacks? What were we in big plays? What were we in attitude? Right?
Attitude,
we were terrible in these things. We play ground and pound ball control. So yes, teams are not going to put up a lot of yards because they don't have the ball that much. Teams are not going to put up a lot of points because we are think us down the field, and then hold you to a field goal if we can. That's what we were for I don't know how long. But this defense is the number one culprit of this team. So if they come out of this damn draft in the first 3 or 4 picks with an offensive player, I'm going to be livid.
Yeah, no, you're. I think that. Listen, you gotta get good players. You've exhausted resources on the offensive side of the ball. Some have panned out, some haven't. Sky, you have to get good. You have to get good talent on this defense.
We invested so much in the offense, and it's, for the most part, it's panned out. Okay, so now it's time to switch that. Now, I don't blame them for taking CeeDee Lamb. I don't blame them for taking CeeDee Lamb. And dude fell in your lap, man. And he's going to be an amazing wide receiver for the next decade. But now, guys, it's time. Your offense is complete. You have an amazing core moving forward, right? Now let's do that on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and you hit on a point. I'm with you 100%, man.
You ain't with me 100%.
No, we're not, because we're gonna. We can get. Let's talk to it.
This is why you're not with me 100%. Because there is a certain quarterback that is out for the season named Dak Prescott, who was franchise tag coming into the year, bet on himself, didn't take the deal offered on the table, about 5 years, $100 and something million, would have put him up there in the top 5 in certain metrics, not so top 5 in other metrics. As he would say a lot, the devil is in the details, right? The devil was in the details, which we weren't always presented with, but I know one of those details were he wanted no franchise tag and they weren't willing to do it. And he broke his ankle in week 5, and he's out for the year. He'll be an unrestricted free agent in 2021, going into that window where you can tag him. And if you do decide to tag Dak Prescott, it'll be 19% of your cap. And right now we're hearing roughly like $38 million or so for the tag. So a lot of people, including yourself, are saying tank for Trevor, tank for Justin, whoever the hell you want to do it for. If you get a top 3, 4, 5 pick, draft a quarterback and let's boogie, as Vach would say, right? Let's get a top 5 quarterback or a top 5 pick and draft a quarterback and move on from Dak and let's just start this thing over. I'm gonna let you go because that is your thought process, right? Explain to the nation why.
Okay. I always say this, and I preface this. I started my channel by saying Dak Prescott will be a steal. So everybody quit the I hate, and he was. And he's been great. And he's been everything we could ask for and more. Here's the problem. I don't think that this team will be good in time to max his prime.
Really?
I don't. And the problem is this, right? Now, this team has not drafted a premium talent at the quarterback position since Troy Aikman. Not good, but a premium talent. Quincy Carter was a 2nd-round pick. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick. Not saying that Dak hasn't developed into a great player. He has. But if I have a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, one of these guys, Justin Fields, I have to at least think about it. Here's the reason why. If Dak wants more than 40, Sky, I won't be able to have – if we're going to go into a true rebuild, my team won't be good. And that's the issue. If we're going into a true rebuild,
you believe
the way that we see it, this team, you see bruh. What?
Well, listen. I believe this is similar to 2015 in the sense of you lost your quarterback and backs, right? And you had talent. You have talent on your team. But in 2015, we had talent, but you lost your quarterback and the team went to shit. But similar to the the Detroit Pistons, I'm going to do a basketball reference. Remember when Detroit, I believe they won the championship, but they had the second overall pick due to a trade? And instead of taking Carmelo Anthony, they took Darko Milicic. I feel like something like this is potentially could happen. The Cowboys have a team to come back and be very competitive next year. But are they going to take Darko Milicic, who ain't going to help you, or are they going to take somebody that can help you? Nonetheless, I do think they can be a good team next year, health permitting.
See, I'm just, this team is so bad that I don't. Now here we go. Dak will come back and work his ass off. But how, if you didn't want to pay him 40 last year, let's talk about this front office guy. If you didn't want to pay him 45 last year, what's going to move the Joneses this year when you have a heap of issues?
And that's,
if somebody can give me that answer, I will shut up about Dak Prescott.
But see,
I'm just thinking,
that's where the problem starts, because I don't know if I need to kind of get better temperature of the fans here, because half the fans, we understand how they feel about Dak, but the other half, I don't know, is it Dak or is it the front office? Because you should be aiming your anger at the front office. Okay, yes, Dak could have took the contract, could have just took the contract and been done with it. They also could have paid Dak 2 years ago. This could have been out the way. You elected to pay Jalen Smith. You elected to pay Lyle Collins. You elected to pay Ezekiel Elliott 2 years
That's the one that you
ahead.
were right about.
That's the one I was just I'm not saying he's a terrible player. That's just a terrible deal. That was stupid. You elected to do all these things and not pay this guy 2 years ago. So that's neither here nor there. I think this is a front office issue. This is not a Dak Prescott issue. But go ahead.
For sure. But the problem is it's an issue that is here, and I think that now let's go back to Mike McCarthy. Does Mike McCarthy and Mike McCarthy's regime say, I want my guy? Will there be pushback? Because really and truthfully, do we know if Dak Prescott is Mike's guy? They all say they're their guy. Jay Gruden said that Robert Griffin was his guy. He wasn't his guy. What's the Dwayne? He said the same. And Dak has been better than those guys.
I'm about to say, what has Dak done negatively for Mike McCarthy to say that? I mean, this isn't a guy.
Nothing but want money, but want extra money.
That ain't Mike's.
But team can pay.
That ain't Mike's thing. That's Steven.
No, it is not. That's definitely Steven. But here we go, Sky. This team, I'm telling you, bro. What I've seen now, the holes that we have, and it's a lot, you won't be able to fix this team. This team won't be competitive. It'll be a lot of high-scoring games like last year, but like when Dak was here, but we'll be losing because the defense will still be bad because of the holes. If you mean to tell me you're not going to fix a team defensively in one draft, so you're going to have to exhaust resources on what? Free agency. If I have so much money tied, now you have money tied into an old running back who, let's be honest, 27. Oh, I'm already knowing.
Oh, you good. I'm just reading these comments. Go ahead.
Dog, 27. Listen, 27. And how old will Zeke be? 27 coming up?
Nah, he young. He pretty young. I think Zeke like 25. So, but nonetheless,
okay,
nonetheless.
But does Zeke look the same to you? And I'm a Zeke stan. But does Zeke look the same to you? If you could tell me that's kind of cool.
Gosh, no. I listen. People don't like me for coming at Zeke, but I want more from him, and I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think he has it in him to do that anymore. It's so funny, and I don't mean to derail this here real quick. We got on number 4. Not we. A lot of people got on number 4 saying he needs this, he needs that, he needs this, he needs that, like a lot of quarterbacks need. Nobody is saying, everybody, I'm sorry, is saying, Zeke needs an offensive line. Well, no shit. He needs help, just like other players need help. But he's getting let off the hook for whatever reason, and it is what it is.
Yeah, bro. It's 100% one of them things is like, no, Zeke's not off my hook. It's actually, with Zeke is more just like sad than anything. Like, wow, like while Dak is coming into his own, Zeke is really leaving his own. The mental issues, because Dak can definitely play. Don't get me wrong. Like Dak will find a job. He'll Dallas. If it was me, I would have paid Dak first. But the problem is, I said that this team could win with Tony Pollard. Like the league is not ground and pound anymore. It's just you run opportunistically, But you don't really need a lead back, and especially the way Dallas isn't even going to force feed Zeke the ball.
The league is showing you don't need a workhorse like that. Listen, no. I get when they drafted him, why they used him like they used him. But when it was time to come to pay up, you mean to tell me 2 years? You try to get paid 2 years prior? I'm good, fam. You don't want to come play football.
Good.
You don't want to come play football with 2 years left on your rookie deal. Fine. Cool. You're a running back.
You're a running back. You see, where's Todd Gurley at? Playing on a sorry Atlanta team. It's over. But the truth of the matter is this. Back to the quarterback position.
Yes, please.
If you have a chance, you at least look at it. I'm not saying that you do it, Sky, but I told you at the beginning of this conversation, when you this sorry, nothing's off the table, bro.
Okay, so
unfortunately.
So yes, so if you
Ben DiNucci could come in and challenge. We don't know what's gonna happen.
No. And listen, we're not coming at Ben. I'm not coming at Ben. I think he was joking about him challenging Dak. I hope Ben balls off, and we'll get here to end the show about that. I hope Ben balls off. Here's my thing about what you're saying. Then I'll go into how I feel about it. If we're going to be bad with Dak, which I think we will be competitive with Dak, because he will help cover up a lot of the other issues that you have on the team. Because when you have a top tier quarterback, that's what they do, right? He may not be Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson, who I believe are the only three really elite quarterbacks in the league. Really, maybe just Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson, if we keep it in the bean. But he's still a top-tier quarterback. So that top-tier quarterback is going to help elevate your team, as we're seeing when you don't have one. If you eliminate him and you put in a rookie who may have this amazing upside, there's, first of all, no guarantee. That's number one. That's number one. There's no guarantee that Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, whoever the hell, is going to come in here and be what they are, what we think they will be. Number two, if you think this team is going to be bad for a few years, isn't this team going to be worse with a rookie? So what are you planning on tanking for a couple years?
I have Trevor Lawrence. I actually have Trey Lance and Trevor Lawrence as I had them graded higher, both of them graded higher than like Joe Burrow, who we see has came in with a bad team and just done phenomenal. Trey Lance is really good. I'm actually kind of scared of Fields just because Ohio State quarterbacks scare me.
Okay.
And their system is always just really good. And you saw what happened with Dwayne Haskins. I think that Trey Lance is just a freak athlete. He just has a feel for the game.
That's the dude from
North Dakota State.
Yes, that man is like it's crazy.
He's just a freak athlete. Yeah, and then we've seen that freak athletes are starting to translate, i.e. Lamar Jackson, to where they can at least turn your team around. I think he's that good of an athlete. And I think that Trevor Lawrence is just, I'm not saying he's as good of a prospect as Andrew Luck, but he's pretty damn close because he's so big. He's so athletic. Now, to get to him, because the Jets aren't going to win another game. So to get to him will probably be awful. But Atlanta's...
understand why we need it. Go ahead. I just don't understand why we need to take a cue when you have a top 10, top 7-ish, top 5-ish sometimes quarterback. I just can't fathom it. Only reason why this is even a discussion, but is because this front office is become a joke when it comes to these contracts. They've become a joke.
That's
because
so the problem is this: we can't have one without the other. Sky, like there's no Dak's not his camp is coming with 45. I need it right now. I don't care what the team has going on because I'm the team. And Steven, it's not going to be Jerry. Jerry would give him his house.
Oh, Jerry would have been paid Dak Prescott.
Jerry would give him the heart out his chest. Let
me help you.
Steven.
And it's silly because let me help you build your team like you're talking about. You don't build the team by throwing your hands in the air and saying, all right, we're going to scrap it. We're going to get rid of our top tier quarterback and we're going to draft a rookie and hope for the best. You don't have to hope you got one.
You got to do the work, though, Sky.
Here's how still build your team, Foots, and anybody else that's on this. Not saying you're on this, but that want to just scratch it and take a quarterback number 2, 3, 4, whatever the heck we're going to be. Don't do that. You know what you do? There are a lot of teams that don't have a serviceable quarterback. they're going to be clamoring to come up. Did you see what teams gave up for Carson Wentz? Did you see what teams gave up for RG3? What you do is you hold somebody hostage and you say, you want Tank or Trevor Lawrence, you want Justin Fields, you want whoever. I need everything. I need 1, 2, 2, 3. You hold and you tell them you can lie. Mike McCarthy good at it. You can lie. Hey, Jacksonville, we got Chicago on the line here. They talking about giving up 3 first-round picks. Man, I can't give up 3, but I give you 2 1s, 2 2s, and next year's 3rd and 4th. You hold them hostage, and then you take those picks and you flip your team around that way. And you do that while you have your top-tier quarterback. Because what is the point of taking the rookie, not taking advantage of all these other picks, right? Taking the rookie and rebuilding and hoping that this rookie becomes a top 10 quarterback when you already got one.
Well, you already got one, and I'm not mad at that whatsoever. Here's the thing. New England, the Colts, Washington, definitely in the quarterback market. However, you have to find an idiot. The only idiot that I find is, because of what we've seen in the past, like, think about it. The Colts really have a good team, so they can let the BYU kid just fall to them and say, hey, we'll develop them. We'll put a guy in there, stand a third. I think to get a king's ransom, you need an idiot. Washington used to be idiots. You need a team that's gonna, but you need to be top 3 as well. You need to be if you want a king's ransom, you gotta be top 2. You know King's ransom, you gotta be top 2, Sky.
What you need,
King's ransom, you gotta be top 2.
No, you don't. No, you don't. All you need is, and this is gonna be funny because if you watch our live streams, you know what I'm talking about. All you need is time on your side, and you know why? All you need is time.
Bears
quarterback,
Bears.
The quarterback market, the quarterback value, it skyrockets in the offseason, man. Mitchell Trubisky played 1 damn year for North Carolina, and they traded so much to move up 1 pick to get Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah. Carson Wentz couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay healthy in college. His backup won more championships than him. But Carson Wentz went out there, slung the ball around. He had time on his side, and guess what happened? His stock just shot right up because he throws a pretty ball. You think these quarterbacks values are not going to shoot up? Their stock is going to rise so high.
Those 3, you might get 5. You might get 5 in the first 15 because Mac Jones might play well. So I'm not mad at you. You talking that talk, brother. You talking that talk. It really just, again, it really.
I would
just
trade
depends.
down, man.
Man, I would trade down too, but guess what? Now watch this. What is your plan as a team? Because even if you trade down, 2-1 rookies aren't going to come in on defense, and you still have to get some. I'm gonna be honest with you. You have to get some quality free agents in this year.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about guys.
There we go.
You have to. So however I can do that.
That's the issue.
Means that you have to, bro. Like. I want to be competitive this year, Scott. You just find out, I'm good with Dak. Like, I'm great with Dak. With these weapons, I'm great with Dak. I'm great with Dak.
My second argument about the whole people not wanting to pay Dak and then draft the quarterback thing is their part of the argument is, and it's a reasonable argument if it was a different franchise. It could be slightly reasonable. It's not with this franchise because a lot of people are saying, well, I don't want to pay Dak $40 million. By the way, guys, if you pay Dak Prescott, he's not going to cost you $40 million on the cap year 1. So that's that. But I don't want to pay him $40 million. You can move around. I don't want to pay him $40 million because I want to use that money to go sign these great free agents. I ask you, just like I asked the other day, name me these great free agents that Stephen Jones is going to go out here and pay for. So if Stephen Jones, who admittedly came out and said, I am not about setting the market, hence why everybody that's worth getting a contract extension on the Cowboys has to fight tooth and nail for it. He said he's not setting the market, and he's not going to pay other teams' free agents top dollars because he wants to save it for his guys. So I ask you, if Stephen Jones is not going to go out here and spend money on James Bradbury, on Tyrann Mathieu, right? Guys who got paid top-notch dollars at their positions but are paying like elite players. If he's not going to do it, then why on God's green earth would you not just sign the quarterback that's a top-tier quarterback? It's just, but to me, man, it just, for this franchise, it just makes no sense not to bring Dak Prescott. None.
So,
unless you're ready to scrap it all. Fire Mike McCarthy, hire a college coach, draft Trevor Lawrence, cut Zeke out, just cut bait with all these nasty contracts and start all over. I don't think you need to do that. You can be shrewd. But do we have a shrewd front office? I don't think we do. This is me off. I don't mean to go on a tangent, man, but
no. You are right. You're right to be upset because it's a messed up situation we're in because we would essentially be trading away what we know or letting walk what we know for what we don't. But it's very similar to Kirk Cousins. If you and Dak is a better player than Kirk. Let me make that clear. But the problem is why didn't the front office just pay him? Like, it was a big mistake to pay the running back before the quarterback. You hit that on the head, and I will give you that, Sky. So now that we're here, what do? You can't cut Zeke. That's so much dead money you still be paying him. It's just like, so now that we're here, what are we doing? If you pay Dak, which I'm for it. If you tell me that you're trying to win games 45-30, 35 next year, that's cool because Dak can put up 40 points. But I think this defense will give up 50, and that's the issue.
Cool King.
Because
there's somebody in the chat, and this is how I do on my show. If I see something, I try to point it out. It's been tough because we having a nice back and forth. Cool King says, Sky, because we're losing 17-3 at half to the sorry Giants with Dak Prescott. Let me ask you something, Cool King. What the hell do you think we're going to be doing with a rookie quarterback behind a makeshift offensive line in the league's worst defense in history with a rookie quarterback?
Shout out to my man Joe Rogers jumping in the building. But here's his argument though. Here's his argument though, Sky. That's kind of like he's making a free agency point as well. Like, bro,
don't do that.
This defense was, but I know.
We keep it real, right? We don't do that. I would love to go sign 3 high-priced defensive free agents, but do you believe that's going to happen, Foots?
How can we if we giving the quarterback 40 plus? Dak, I'm telling you, Dak is coming to the table now.
Foots.
Dog. So let me ask you this, Sky. How are we gonna pay? Dog, we're gonna run out there.
Watch this.
Some other dog. I thought Worley came from the damn CFL. I knew he couldn't play. That's why I never did a video on the guy.
You deep.
Like I never, bro. I'm not trying to carry him, but bro, like, dog.
So look,
Worley can't play. I told people, listen, hold on, real quick, Scott.
Go ahead.
I told people, dog, I'm in DC. Clinton Dick sucks. He can't play. Like, you're trying to mask issues. Now the issues are before us. Dak is gonna come back, lead the league in passing, and we're gonna be 6-10 next year, bro. What I can respect is this. I'm gonna tell you like this. This is what I will say.
You don't think this team winning the division with Dak Prescott at quarterback?
Listen, watch
this.
This.
Is terrible.
Watch. Man, that defense, bro. I'm telling you, with that defense, the Philly game would have been 50-48. Like, either way. No, but in all seriousness, if you can move Dak, if you could push his money out, then you sign Dak Prescott. Period.
But you can. That's the
okay. Then get it done. Then they have to get that done, and I think Dak has to want to get that done too. Like, he can't get into. Yeah,
I will agree.
I think Dak, like, at this point, Dak, I would love for Dak to come to God moment. Man, Kyle Allen, sorry.
Yeah, I'm reading it in
I'm
too.
sorry. No, Alex, I didn't mean it. Alex Smith, I didn't mean to tell you shut up. Okay. Oh, he said he looked like me out there. It's funny. Hey, the live stream crazy.
The stream, the stream be wild. I love
Kyle
it.
Allen, sorry. Dak will outplay him he's a tier 8 quarterback.
I think that guy was trolling. At least I hope he was.
Probably troll. The problem is this though, in all seriousness. Seriously. If you can move the money out, but Dak, like you said, Dak has to want to get it done. I'm not saying take team friendly, but Dak has to have a kind of guy moment say, dog, I'm just happy to be playing football again. My leg almost fell off. Like, yo, I want to play football again. Don't come back on some, y'all got to pay me this amount. Because, bruh, as you can see, you can end up like Tony. Like, I just love the throwback athlete that wants to get a ring. Like, Dak will make his money in endorsements. He's a great guy. Like, I mean, I can't. Somebody said it. You can't watch somebody's pockets. So I feel you. Get your money. Like, I'm not mad at that.
He's just trying to do what the market and everybody else is doing, man. Everybody else got paid that didn't have a resume nearly as good as Dak Prescott's first 4 years. And you could say, oh, his team was amazing. You'd be lying to yourself. Yeah, he had a good team when he first came in. After that, it's been a lot of issues with the teams year after year. And I'm not saying the guy was amazing year after year, but what Dak Prescott did in his first 4 years in the league is he progressively got better. And that's what it's going to take time with the 4th round pick. Cowboy fans don't got time. But let me get back to something that you
you're going to have time because it's going to get worse.
Let me get back to something you said, Foots. You said we can't pay free agents if we pay the quarterback a ton of money. But when people say that, we tend to forget we had a rookie quarterback he had a good quarterback on a rookie deal for 4 years, and we didn't pay free agents.
Totally. And guess what? I have no argument for that.
It's hard to trust the front office to say with all this money, if it is all this money, because again, you can technically sign Dak Prescott to a long-term deal, and his first year cap hit can be something like $15 million, $20 million or whatever. So you could save, $10 or so million on the first year to go towards free agents. I just do not, and you're lying in the chat if you have any faith in Stephen Jones to go out here and get a prominent free agent, which you need. And if McCarthy can't do it next year, Foots, you need a head coach to say, Steven, shut the up and go get me ballers.
So here's the deal.
You don't like it, fire me.
So here's the deal. And I think you're spot on there. And I will say this, and I even take it a step further.
Okay.
Stephen Jones has to look in the mirror and realize his plan, Will McClay's plan, it worked, but not really. Like, you got some quality, but with you guys being the youngest team now is starting to show. And draft. Like, this team was all draft. You tried to be Pittsburgh, except you made the one mistake that Pittsburgh didn't. They didn't pay Le'Veon. You paid Zeke. And that is...
Tell them.
Pittsburgh went and got Minka Fitzpatrick. You didn't go get like you said, Tyrann Mathieu or Buda
Pittsburgh
Baker.
drafted Taco Charlton. Drafted TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. So you're still not there yet. You tried to. Now you got Dallas and Pittsburgh both did very well offensive line wise, and they have, David DeCastro, the Pouncey kid. But the point is this.
Here's what I do.
Steven has to right his wrong, bro. You're right. You're right.
Here's what I don't want him to do, or the team to do. I will give them this. They made a tiny bit of an improvement in the offseason in attempting to go out in free agency and grab guys, right? You went out, Gerald McCoy, Everson Griffin, Dontari Poe. I won't really consider Darryl Worley, but those 3 guys that you got in free agency, they weren't dirt cheap in the sense of they weren't I'm trying to think of some free agents we used to get back in the day. They weren't Jeremy Mincey cheap. They weren't what's the cat?
Jeremy Mincey played pretty good.
He did play a good there. What's the other cat that we got that went on to he used to play for the Rams? Oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. The defensive tackle or defensive end that had 7 sacks that year. Oh my gosh. I'm having a brain fart.
Anthony
Benson,
Spencer? No.
Benson Mayo was one of them. They weren't those
Yeah,
kind of
definitely.
guys, right? These are guys that were former Pro Bowlers, and just last year, Gerald McCoy was still playing well. You know, Everson Griffin was still playing well. So what I hope doesn't happen is that I call him Julius, the dad from Everybody Hates Chris. Stephen Jones is like Julius. He cheat, right? Somebody had made a comment. They said, boy, that's 10 cents worth of air you breathing. That's Stephen Jones. You know, so what I hope doesn't happen is he went out and played the lottery, and he thought he was playing this big money lottery. All he did was buy a $10 scratch off when he's used to buying $1 once. And I'm hoping that he don't get scared and be like, oh my God, I bought a $10 scratch off and I missed, so I'm never buying a $10 scratch off again. I hope he doesn't do that because he missed on these free agents. I hope what he says is, okay, you know, we missed. We missed on these guys, but let me try something different. Instead of going out and getting aging guys with injury concerns, Gerald McCoy, Dante Poe, and Everson Griffin, who happened to be sitting out there, or Daryl Worley, who was still sitting out there, let me go find one or two guys that, if they're not in their primes, they may be approaching it, or let me see if I can get some foresight and get a guy who has the potential to be a really good starter and pay them a couple dollars and see what happens. I'm not asking Stephen Jones to spend $200 million on this defense in the offseason. All I'm asking Stephen Jones to do is not be cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
go down swinging.
I think Law hit on the head. You just praying that they aren't gun shy, but they have to take. I mean,
right, that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to take some accountability and say, dog, we gotta be better. I mean, I think the mistake that they made was thinking that Xavier Woods, and think the biggest mistake that they made, and even me, because I saw flashes from Xavier Woods, like as a rookie, you was like, okay, Xavier Woods can play in the league a little bit. He doesn't look completely lost out there, but he's also not a playmaker, and he also, you know, isn't a safety that can, you know, take away tight ends and guard tight ends and blitz off the edge and has the IQ. And so I think those are where Stephen Jones and Will missed. Like they knocked the first round out the park. Okay, minus Taco. They knock first round drafts out. They knock first round
for the most part.
The
yeah, they usually do.
Yeah, for the most part, do. Yeah, but somebody said this, and I hate this because you can do this with a lot of situations. But somebody say, yo, you know, would you rather have Jalen Ramsey and Derrick Henry?
No, we talked about that the other day.
and I just thought that was Bush League. Like, dude, stop.
It's you have to say hindsight before you say anything. Hindsight, obviously, you'd rather have that, right?
Yeah, but he had been leading the league. I mean, dude, Derrick Henry was on his way out of Tennessee. I read an article. If it wasn't for a conversation with Eddie George, Tennessee was close to cutting him. And so that's neither here nor there. But I think your point about the front office, it's time for this front office to, first of all, stop coddling these dudes. The softness starts with the Joneses. It's too cute. It's too glamorous. It's too beautiful. Like, it's just everything in Dallas is so, like, it's just like the Truman Show. It's so perfect that these guys are they're just like girls, dog. Like, I mean, no offense to all the women that watch the show, but they're very soft, and it shows on the football field. I never forget, it was an interview. I think that we played Seattle. We played a team, maybe Baltimore some years ago when they had those long runs. Somebody we played, and they just was like, man, just like it was a player. It was like, oh, there's nobody gritty in Dallas. Like, no grit. And I don't know if that was Garrett. You know, I love having a Sean Lee type of guy, or man, dog. I do
find it interesting that so many things are leaking. Post Jason Garrett, who I'm not trying to go back to Jason Garrett and all that stuff, but I just do find it very, very interesting that now that he's gone, we're getting all these anonymous sources. And I personally think that it was Everson Griffin. I think he might have been the guy. I don't know that it was Poe. I don't know that it was Worley. Those guys don't come off to me as those. Worley's quiet guy. I don't really say too much. I think it was either Everson Griffin or a disgruntled young pup, like maybe not young pup, young guy like Woods or Jordan Lewis that might have said that. But I just find it interesting, right? Like this wasn't happening when Jason was here. Now when they left, Cole Beasley, Ryan Switzer, Des Bryant, there was a lot of chirping. but in-house it wasn't too much. So I find that interesting, and I hope that we get that cleaned up. But Bill Parcells said it perfectly, man. When it's going bad, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, anybody blaming Mike McCarthy is just stupid. I mean,
yeah, it's tough to sit here and put the whole thing on that guy.
I'm sorry, even Packers fans who come out with this Bush League, oh yeah, like Mike McCarthy didn't help develop Aaron Rodgers. You see the way Aaron Rodgers threw the ball when he came out of Cal? Like, stop it.
He wasn't the great Aaron Rodgers right away.
No, like it's ridiculous. Like, it's not even fair to Mike. Mike has been nothing but stand up. He's come to the podium every single game. He hasn't been Jason Garrett with this bullshit weak ass smile on. Excuse my language.
You cool?
Guy.
Hey man,
he hasn't.
We in the late parts of the evening now.
Yeah, we in the X-rated time, but it's just like to oh yeah, let's fire Mike McCarthy. He's not the issue. It's a culture thing, dude. I'm telling you, you got to get the dogs in the building.
Say it again.
It's a culture thing, baby. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna leave it here. Andy Dalton went off on the sideline. That's the first time I've seen a player go off on somebody since Des Bryant was a Cowboy.
You might be right.
Think about that. Chat box, help me. Andy Dalton went off, and then right after he went off, what happened? He got his
bell wrong.
Yeah,
got his head taken off.
When was the last time a player just made those guys uncomfortable? Andy Dalton went to the sideline and said, "You guys are just playing terrible."
Yeah, that ain't Dak. Dak ain't that guy either.
And unfortunately, I'm not saying Dak has to be, but like you, dog.
He's a different kind of leader.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. Yeah.
He's a different kind of leader, which is okay. Like it's okay. But yeah, it's a culture thing, but it's not just a culture thing because it's Jason Garrett culture. It's a culture thing because of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, right? This is a culture that Jerry has built, and ever since, in my opinion, Bill Parcells left, it's a culture that's been really hard to bring all the way back in. Now, I did give Jason some credit early on in his tenure as a head coach for slightly changing. I hate to use the word change because he didn't really change it all the way, but slightly adapting the culture to be more about football. When I say football, I mean he let Jerry do whatever the hell, but he was a football guy. Okay.
Yeah.
We had, and I'm not saying that Wade wasn't, but Wade's not a head coach, right? Wade was a player's coach. Everybody do whatever they want. Bring in Pac-Man, bring in Tank, bring in T.O., let everybody just do what they want to do. We don't care. He called him Coach Cupcake because of Camp Cupcake. I loved Wade Phillips, the person. I love Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator, but Wade Phillips, the head coach, is not a head coach. So Jason came in and turned the culture around slightly, and he started drafting. He started doing things that Jerry never did, drafting offensive linemen in the first round. Jerry don't do that, and it worked. It worked. But when it came time to punch through to the next level, 8 and 8 get years in a row. Like, all right, Jason, if you don't punch through, you out. He punched through finally, right? Had a good team. And then it came boom, boom, up, down, up, down. He never got past that, so it was time to move forward. And it takes time. It took Jason Garrett 3 years. I'm not saying I do not want Mike McCarthy to take 3 years. I hope it doesn't. But it took him 3 years to kind of transform the culture a little bit and put out a championship caliber team. Couldn't punch through. The hope is that McCarthy can punch through at some point.
If you want to keep Dak, I'm looking at the Bills as a blueprint of how to rebuild a defense. Trey White, hit the D tackle.
They also have a very good defensive minded head coach.
The linebacker. That's fair. That is very fair. The linebacker, hit on the linebacker. Good resources on that defense. If you want to rebuild, you start with your back end. I always, a lot of people say you build inside out. I believe in today's game, you have to build from your back end.
I would agree with you.
And remember, Dallas had a chance to draft Trey White. Now, forget who we drafted that year. I think we hit, so it's fine. But I think in today's game, the league is, if you have a chance to get a premium cover guy, you get a premium cover guy. That's just me. Like,
because
don't play around.
It's a passing league. Pass rush obviously matters. I mean, but unless it's Myles Garrett that you're grabbing up there, if it's me, if it comes down to player A and player B, one's a defense and one or outside linebacker, and one is a premium cornerback, I think in today's game, give me or DB, whatever the heck, if they're on the same level, graded the same in the draft, I'm going to go give me that defensive back right now.
Right now, I mean, we just got to look at what we're watching. Like, look at what we're watching. It just seems like any route that anybody wants to run is just wide open. Slant, wide open. Go route, wide open. Comeback, wide open. Play action, wide open.
Hey, go look at the Patriots. Now I think to do that though, you do have to have a competent scheme one, a very good defensive coordinator. But go look at the Patriots. They don't pay defensive tackles and defensive ends, but they trade for Darrelle Revis and pay him. They'll pay Stephon Gilmore. They'll pay McCourty. You know what I'm saying? They'll go out and get these guys and pay these guys on the back end. Go look at the oh my gosh, I just had a team. Oh, the Chiefs. Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
They won out and they said we need to go get this safety. A position that we don't seem to value. But they went out and paid their safety, and they also drafted a safety high in the draft.
Yeah.
Not saying
that's draft Thornhill.
And guess who their defense MVP was last year? Now, did they get Frank Clark? See, that's where you can go trade for guys, right? You can bring in these guys. Yes, they did. But they drafted the safety and they brought in a safety, and you can argue, maybe it's not even arguable, that Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, was their defensive MVP.
Oh, for sure.
So obviously it's chicken and egg, right? You do need both to work in tandem. But what I need is a process. I need a plan. If your plan is to build through the draft on the trenches, cool, do that. But then make sure you go get me guys in the back end that aren't guys we got, right? And if your plan is to build through the draft in the back end, cool, go get me some guys up front that can make their life a little bit easier since they're very talented back there. You just need a plan. I feel like Dallas never has a plan.
No, and that's what we, and that's what we'll be here to talk about, Sky. Hey, yo, this guy Alex Smith is so funny in the chat box, man. You know what had me down laughing?
Is he on yours or mine? Because he just keeps saying the same thing.
Yeah, he's on mine. He said,
any mods in there? Take care of him.
Let's give him, get him out the way, guys.
Yeah,
I do need to get a mod in here. He said let's trade for Dwayne Haskins for a bag of Cheetos. That was so funny.
Oh, I think he's a Redskins fan.
Yeah.
You in the DC area, fam. I'm gonna be down there next month, man.
Okay, let's link up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be down there, man. Oh man, this has been great though, brother. We gonna have to do this some more, man.
Over or under Ben DiNucci, those 2 touchdowns. I just want to get you on record.
Oh yeah. We got to wrap about the Eagles real quick before we get out of here. So over and under 2 touchdowns. So basically, what? Basically 2.5. We want to say basically 2.5.
Yeah.
So will he get more than 2 or 2? Here's my thing about Ben. Ben got this real swashbuckling type of attitude to him. He got this moxie to him, man. He got some. He can move. He can move. They talked about it. That's what kind of made my little antennas rise up. Is the coaching staff talked about Ben DiNucci's mobility? Excuse me, guys, and how he ran like 21 miles per hour. They clocked him at that this year.
I saw that,
and I'm like, so they're gonna move the pocket? Because honestly, they should. Because the offensive line against that defensive front is gonna be rough. I'm gonna go under though.
Okay, I do too. I think he'll make some plays, but he won't do enough to.
I said all that, right? I just build him up and just under. It's not because I don't like Ben and I'm not rooting for Ben. I hope he go out there and throw 4 touchdowns. Y'all know I do. But boy, they got a front. We talk about the Redskins front. The Eagles got a front, fam.
Yeah, and they're still good. That's the thing. Like those guys still. Fletcher Cox is still good.
Yeah. What's your take though on this game? I mean, it's weird, dog, because a lot of Cowboy fans, us included, we're talking draft, right? We're talking off season. We are a half game out of first place. I don't know how.
Oh, you win this game.
You're in first place.
We're putting all the. Yeah, you win this game. You putting all the draft stuff behind you. I'm getting a Ben DiNucci jersey.
Right.
No,
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah, the truth is, it's gonna be hard to win because if Ben DiNucci plays great, your defense still stinks. And that's
and Wentz is a
that's the
competent
thing.
quarterback. Has he had a bad year this year? Absolutely, but Wentz is still competent enough to make you pay.
No, I don't think their O line is great. I think
Yeah, but
there's
he can
holes in that
move.
O line. He can move, and that's the issue. I don't think that they're, you know, I don't think that it's a receiving core that's, you know.
We're going to need the Eagles to make some mistakes because the
There you go.
Cowboys, at this point, if you were betting something with the Cowboys, I would bet that they would make a mistake at this point. The odds technically should be in your favor that they don't because turnovers are random, and you're not supposed to turn the ball over this much every game. But it is happening every game, and the Cowboys are not getting turnovers. So I would bet that the Cowboys are likely going to turn the ball over a few times. But what we need is the Eagles to match that, to have a chance here, in my opinion. Because if the Cowboys go down this road of 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles per game, well, brother, it's going to be over by halftime. Turn out the lights.
I'll tell you this.
Light a
The
candle.
worst thing that can happen
Turn them out.
is they get the ball early and they score first. So
Who, Philly?
that's kind of yeah.
Did you see that stat, man? The Cowboys gave up, I think, the most opening drive touchdowns this year.
I'm not surprised, dude.
It's opening drive touchdowns.
I'm not surprised. I mean, again, just you know, I'm not surprised.
So last week I said, well, maybe they'll rally around Andy Dalton after, a Monday night meltdown. And I'm tempted to say, well, maybe they'll rally around the rookie Nooch. Maybe they will. Well, what faith do I have in that? All we have here is our fandom. The fandom in me, I hate the Eagles. But you live in the DMV area. You know how it is. I live right next door to Philly. I know how it is. If we can sweep the Eagles the rest of the year and lose the rest of the games, I'm good with that. Because I cannot deal with these fans. So
Eagles fans are terrible.
I don't hate nothing in this world but the Eagles. So I want to win, right? The fan in me. But when I like to do, keep it real on this channel. I keep it real and I'm objective. And that's a tall task.
Yeah,
tall task.
It's more their D line, like you said. When you start talking about X's and O's, it's just a lot. Brandon Graham is still good. This is like you look up, he's like, how old is that guy?
I remember when he came in and they was ready to ship him out because he was in the wrong damn scheme. Juan Castillo had him in the 3-4. The hell is you doing?
That I will give you that. I will give you that. That's a gem right there. No, but in all seriousness, the point is that
Zachary said they not rallying.
I would love for it to be fun, but I'm just really scared that this O-line. See, the problem is gonna be now in his face dealing with Fletcher Cox. It's gonna be bad, So just hang on for dear life.
Hang on for dear life, Cowboys Nation. Hang on for dear life. Hey, Foots, man, this has been awesome. Chat, this has been awesome.
I've had a blast with you, bro.
Two for two, man. We 2 for 2 with these, man. And hey, look, it might have started off rocky. Maybe the Cowboys can be like us. They started off rocky, but we adjusted, right? We did something that we haven't seen too much. We adjusted in the middle of the season of the stream and said, you know what, this is gonna work better, and it just went flawlessly, fam. Went flawlessly.
Yeah, we adjusted, man. We didn't blink. What do you say about that, man?
Hey,
we didn't blink at all.
Crushed it. Hey, chat, man, if you do me a huge favor and go ahead and subscribe to this new channel here, Dallas Cowboys Network. A lot of you that may know me from the Dallas Cowboys Universe channel, we are moving forward now here. That channel will no longer exist here soon. So do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit that sub button, hit that like button on
Please subscribe, y'all. Seriously.
As well.
Yeah, everybody on my channel who shows me a lot of love, do it now.
Appreciate
Sky
that,
is really good for the community. Seriously, Say it one more time, Scott, so they know.
Dallas Cowboys Network. It's they can see it down here at the bottom left. I think one of my mods will probably drop a link, and that actually it'll be in my channel. Let me drop the link in the chat here, real quick. And if you want to plug anything, go right on ahead before we head up out of here, brother.
Oh nah, man. I mean, Cowboys Nation TV. I'll just be hitting up. I'm gonna start giving you guys just watch lists throughout some of these big games. Some of these guys kind of already know in the chat, so it's good that we, like I said, we have these smartest fans, whether we don't agree all the time. So Patrick Surtain. I'm gonna just start giving you guys a weekly watch list. I'm gonna do that for the draft just because at this point, we kind of all know. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm going to be you, Joe Rod. I know, Brother Vach has already started. So you guys are kind of who I turn to first with the draft stuff. Like we spoke on the phone the other day. It sucks because I don't get in my draft college prospect bag until end of the season or after the season. But I think the end of our season is approaching, so I'm going to unfortunately have to get in that bag a lot sooner than I wanted to. But at the end of the day, we're still going to give you all this Cowboys content, man. And right now, that involves draft talk. Well, probably will. I guess we got another game to go, but probably will involve draft talk a lot sooner than it needs to be.
For sure, man. Hey, you know what? We're going to make the most of it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we're going to kill it, man. We're going to kill it. All right, guys. Hey, do me a huge favor. They know if I don't press the button, we ain't getting out of here. But do me a huge favor on the way out. If y'all enjoyed this show, drop the fire emojis in the chat. And then let us know after the show in the comments if y'all want us to rock another one. Because me and Foots will put it together, man. And it don't matter when. We'll put it together. We'll figure it out, dog. But I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, on behalf of Cowboys Nation TV, Foots the King, I am Skywalker Steele of the Skywalker Show, Dallas Cowboys Network. Make sure you guys also go to Instagram and follow the Cowboys Network. If you want all the nuggets and all the real information on Dallas, make sure you sub that guy up on Instagram, the Cowboys Network. Sosa, that's my guy. We teamed up here. Peace.